Right then, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever and whoever you happen to be. My name's Paul. You've possibly seen my daily teasers go past, or at least I hope you have. 10 years of effort, and I've not stopped yet. But I'm also somebody that likes watching films and likes watching TVs. Past few weeks, I've been watching all sorts of things, and you might have caught one or two of my reviews. Just recently, I've been watching Doctor Who. I'll try and post a link to those. I've also been watching For All Mankind, the TV series from Apple's TV Plus service. And I've got to admit, I've been quite enjoying it for the most part. Tonight, let me have a look at the date here. It is the 1st of February, and I've just caught episode 5 of For All Mankind, called Into the Abyss. Let me try and give you a quick summary if I can. Episode 5, Into the Abyss, focuses on the Apollo 15 mission in this alternative world. It shows us how the team, Ed Baldwin, Molly Cobb and Thomas Paine, played respectively by Joel Kinnaman, Sonia Waldron and Dan Donahue, face a big challenge in the first part of the landing orbits. They've decided to try and find water on the moon, but need to change the landing site to do so. It's a tense, watchable bit of viewing there, it has to be said. Watching this back on Earth is not only Mission Control, who are discussing over whether or not the mission should change landings at the last minute, but also the various astronaut spouses, who are all in the front room of Ed Baldwin's wife, Karen. Now, she and the group get joined at the last minute by Wayne, who is Molly Cobb's husband, and he's the only bloke in the room, to be honest with you. So they're watching this very tense decision about where to land, and obviously Karen is kind of used to this. This is the second time she's seen her husband head into space. Wayne is absolutely bloody terrified. That's his wife up there on that lunar lander. He's worried, sick, and having nightmares as a result about it. Once the first part of the broadcast is over, Ed's wife decides she really needs to talk things through with Wayne. She's not sure about the guy, and she's found out about one or two of his less acceptable bad habits. Back at the outpost, the NASA bar, Guldo has a meeting with Danielle, who's going to be joining him on an upcoming Apollo mission, and gets to meet her husband, Clayton, who's a Vietnam vet who is literally just back from the front and still very, very on edge. The next day back in space, it's the last part of the mission, and in order to get confirmation that there's ice on the moon, or at least there's water ice on the moon, Molly, the lighter of the two astronauts, volunteers to abseil down into the Shackleton crater itself. It is 2 or 3 times deeper than the Grand Canyon, so there's quite a lot of drop. It's very tense. Will the rope snap? Is there enough rope? Is there enough oxygen? Is she going to fall off and fall to her death in a crater that's not seen sunlight in 2 million years? Yes, tense is the right word, thanking you very much. Now, just as a few final thoughts. I'll be honest, it's been a few days since I've seen the last episode of For All Mankind. The last one I saw was Prime Crew. You'll find my review of that online, and here on YouTube as well. That's a result of job hunting, writing the teasers, weight management class to try and lose a bit of pork. And I came away from Prime Crew, from episode 4, not having had an enjoyable evening. I had a serious case of earwax that wasn't pleasant, and it's happily now been sorted, so I'm feeling a lot better. It was rather worrying. Um, Tonight I've watched another episode and not been affected by earache, frankly. Um, and I've seen an episode that is frankly superb. It is literally tense. The actual landing itself, I was on the edge of my seat. The part where Molly volunteers to go down the edge of the crater to try and find water ice, absolutely superb. It's one of the most wonderfully watchable bits of scenery in the whole series, or the series so far. You've got this veteran of the old Mercury 13 cruise going down. She's a miserable old cuss, is Molly, but she's a fantastic curmudgeon, and when faced with doing the right thing, she goes right for it. Takes a huge punt, throws a hard six, to quote the phrase, finds absolute treasure. It was beautifully tense and fantastically watchable. What can I tell you apart from that really was something to watch? The whole episode, the whole of Into the Abyss, is literally going into the abyss. We've got that tense scene there. That's the main focus of the action. You've got that discussion between Gordo and Danielle and her husband Clayton. And my word, there's undertones there. In the real world, the US at the time, famously, the civil rights movement was kicking off. Famously, Black America had it rough back then. I get the impression that for many Black Americans, life can still be tough. Famously, there's all those reports of a lot of police shootings. But I got the impression, from what I know of history, that at the time, America had a system of segregation that was on a par with South Africa's apartheid era. So that meeting between Danielle and Gordo and Clayton was quite something to watch, and I kept watching it thinking and wondering if there was to me it looked like there was an element of racism from Gordo that he was trying his damnedest to put a lid on, but of course he's got to deal with his new crew member and her husband, who is literally very sensitive to being criticised for his race, and also back from Vietnam. So you can see Clayton is on edge, and he's just back from the front, and he doesn't need criticism from a white guy that's never seen action. So you can see he's a walking wound. He's got lots of elements going there, and of course he's got his wife going off potentially in a few years' time to an area that's just as nasty in one sense as what he's faced. It's beautifully done. It's very subtly done because I don't think the writers want to get flack over getting that wrong. But it's another element that's a beautiful part of the episode. The tension and Molly faces going down the crater, Clayton and Gordo's blocking heads. It's wonderful to watch. I've said it before, and I'll probably say it again. For All Mankind maybe isn't a stunning series, but it is a good series. It's very watchable, and with this particular episode, with Into the Abyss, it's knocked out a classic little episode that's very watchable and beautifully done. Go catch For All Mankind. You're going to see a good little series, I think. At any rate, I'll call it a night. Have fun, take care, be good. Don't fall off the spaceship. You'll never hear the end of it. Take care now.